My name is Missael Sepulveda, and I am going to talk to you about the humans in the biosphere. So, this chapter is divided in 4 different lessons, which are: number 1, a changing landscape; number 2, using resources wisely; number 3, biodiversity; and number 4, meeting ecological challenges. We are going to start with lesson number 1, which is a changing landscape. First, humans, like all forms of life, rely on Earth's life support systems. Unlike all other organisms, we affect our environment when we obtain food, eliminate waste products, and build places to live. Humans affect regional and global environments through agriculture development and industry in ways that have an impact on the quality of Earth's natural resources, including soil, water, and the atmosphere. But what is agriculture? Agriculture is one of the most important inventions in human history. A dependable supply of food that can be stored for later use enabled humans to gather in settlements that grew into towns and cities. Now, what is sustainable development? Well, sustainable development is a strategy for using natural resources without depleting them and providing human needs without causing long-term environmental harm. Now, lesson number 2, using resources wisely. There are 2 kinds of natural resources: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. A renewable resource is that resource that can be produced or replaced by healthy ecosystem functions. However, non-renewable resources is that resources that cannot be replenished by a natural process within a reasonable amount of time. Examples of the first ones are trees or water, while examples of non-renewable sources are coal or petroleum. Now, there are many kinds of pollution, which are water and air pollution. The main forms of atmospheric pollution are smog, which is a gray-brown haze formed by chemical reactions; acid rain, which is rain which has nitrogen and sulfur; greenhouse gases, which store the energy of the sun in the atmosphere; and particulates, which are microscopic particles of dust and ash released by certain processes. Now, let's go to the 3rd lesson, which is biodiversity. There are many kinds of biodiversity, but there are 3 main kinds, which are ecosystem diversity, species diversity, and genetic diversity. Ecosystem diversity refers to the variety of habitats, communities, and ecological processes in the biosphere. The number of species in the biosphere or a particular area is called species diversity. And last, genetic diversity can refer to the sum of all different forms of genetic information carried by a particular species or by all organisms on Earth. There are many threats for biodiversity, but there are 5 main kinds of threats, which are the altered habitats and habitat fragmentation, hunting, invasive species, pollution, and climate change. All of these threatens biodiversity. Now, there are 3 main ways to preserve diversity, which are protecting individual species, preserving habitats and ecosystems, and considering local interests. Now, let's go to the 4th lesson, which is meeting ecological changes. First, we need to know what an ecological footprint is. The ecological footprint describes the total area of functioning land and water ecosystems needed both to provide resources and make harmless the wastes. Calculating actual numbers for ecological footprints is complicated. The concept is so new that there is no universal way to calculate it. However, ecological footprints can be useful for making comparisons among different populations. Well, that's all for now. Thank you very much for your attention.